law enforcement tries to, look, we're the mediators here, we're just trying to get you guys to go home. And I know it's difficult. You guys made an excellent point about how they're trying to get on camera and trying to get their moment in history. But you also have to be there to record this and to let the public know what's going on. So it's a tough line, and the law enforcement has the same kind of tough line.
Jack, hang on the phone for us here for a second. I just want to reset for all of our viewers who are just joining us here on KSWB Fox 5 News at 5. I'm Jen Carlman along with Andrew Luria, and we continue to follow what has become a breaking news and developing story downtown San Diego. Donald Trump flew in from Fresno today for a scheduled speech at 2 p.m., which he made in front of a crowd of about 10,000 people at the convention center. Outside the convention center, at the heart of the gas lamp, thousands of people, both for and against, were gathered to be there for his visit. And this is the aftermath. Right now we have still several hundred protesters who are voicing their opposition to Donald Trump and his message. Trump has since left, by the way. And most of the supporters, this is based on our reports from our reporters who are on the ground, have left. Hundreds of law enforcement from the state, the local, and the federal level are on the ground in riot gear, and at this point trying to do some crowd control. They have let the crowd know it is now unlawful to be in the area. As we pop up the San Diego Police Department tweet saying this is a situational awareness. The crowd behavior has become unlawful, meaning it is now illegal to be in the area. They are asking everyone to go home, and we are seeing these pictures, Andrew, as we have seen over the last 90 minutes or so, of this crowd continuing to make its way through the streets, sort of snaking its way downtown, and now they're across the street from the convention center and continuing to get moved and corralled by law enforcement.
And continue to see the different tweets that came from the San Diego Police Department just within the last hour or so. And we're just talking to Jack about this. How far do they push them? But they just pushed them again, and it seems like the farther they go, the more dispersed it gets. There's a little more room for them to work with where they are, whereas it was a lot tighter just a few minutes ago, and that made for real physical complications at a certain point. But at this point, they are dispersing more. At the top of your screen, though, you are seeing some of those officers kind of run ahead. We don't know if that's a problem that they're running to, or simply just trying to get ahead of where these people are and continuing to form that wall to keep everybody where they're supposed to.
Jack, you're watching these pictures live. What's your insight here as you watch them?
Well, I'm watching all the officers go further down. It's kind of like they're keeping a narrow highway for them. They're also trying to prevent us from being outflanked by any of the protesters.
Where are the
a lot of them will...
Yeah, any idea where the protesters are running? They've all been pushed to a certain point, and then all of a sudden they took off on foot.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
They could be regrouping somewhere. You know, you notice how they held for a little bit, and then they got to a point where they had to move on. And maybe that's what they're doing, is they're going to a regroup and set up another barricade for themselves.
All right, Jack, stand by. We've got Robert Burns again on the ground, and he has been trying to keep pace with these runners. Robert, what are you seeing out there?
Well, right now, and a minute ago, as soon as you guys saw it, we decided we were going to come along with them to see what was going on. Just a crowd of people, along with these armed police officers, running and sprinting down towards the bridge here by this parking garage next to the Hilton and the convention center. Don't know why, but if you can see, we can zoom in, you still see people just sprinting right towards that area, along with those police here on the side of the road, or on the convention center sidewalk, rather.
Ken, it's one
So we're trying to make our way towards that, and that's where it is. That's where all the action is. What that action is, we don't know. But one thing I will say, he's filtered in a lot of those people that were being pushed by these police officers out this way anyway. So it's doing a little bit of their job for them.
Hey, Robert, we're going to let you catch your breath or maybe run after them, and we hope to check in with you when you get a little more clarity. We appreciate you continuing your coverage to get up there, because it is kind of curious. All of a sudden, at a second's notice, they just sort of started running. That could have been also because they were the risk of getting arrested, and they wanted to just get out of the way. I'm not really sure, but certainly it is of note that several people went running, and then the police officers ran after them. I did see a bunch of law enforcement down at the end there, kind of right over that pedestrian bridge near Petco Park, where you would walk across for the Hilton Bayfront Hotel, and you saw people even on that bridge.
Yeah, it's almost like that group thing. You know, somebody's running, I'm gonna start running. They may not necessarily know what they're running for or where they're running to. To this point, we haven't seen any pictures that would show us exactly what's going on. Again, looking at live pictures now, people just basically dispersed along that street, but the officers are very well organized as well, keeping that perimeter.
So Robert Burns, you're back on the ground there. All of those motorcycle cops are blocking the entrance to this San Diego Hilton Bayfront Hotel, correct?
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
Are you there?
We're
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, I mean, Jay-Z, I mean, these are the road close signs. These have been knocked off and torn apart at this point as these protesters have made their way. As you mentioned, they were sprinting across. We even saw a second ago someone throw one of these cones, one of these 2.5-foot cones here. Someone picked up one of these and threw it across the street at the police officers a minute ago. So that is what we're seeing, and I think that they were getting unruly at this point. So you see the officers now, if we can zoom in, get on their motorcycles and start to corral around the people here and start to block them off. So it seems as though there was just some rowdy activity in this area. Police quickly made their way over here. There is a line already, but those officers on foot able to get in the face of these protesters a little easier and start to block it off and clear out this area now. So
Robert, excuse me.
whatever that commotion was is now gone.
Robert, right behind you, is that a little kid? JC, you can go to the right there. Go to the right. Is there?
Oh, watch the
sorry
sign,
for
watch
the
the sign, watch the
Is
sign.
there a little kid that's in the middle of all of this? In the red and black? Go to the left.
I
I
did.
apologize. I saw a little kid, just a couple years old. I mean, maybe 3-4 years old. Is that?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, there have been a number of young kids out here at this protest and outside in this rally earlier, even during school, what should have been school hours. We saw a little kid, I want to say probably 6 or 7 years old, on a guy's shoulders with a camera as the crowd was chanting some unfortunate phrases